Welcome back to the Patrick Carr Show, everybody. My name, as always, is Patrick Carr, and I'm your host here. This is another monologue, and hopefully we try to bring some insight into your life and hopefully some things that will hopefully bring you value, make you a better person, a better entrepreneur today. Now, for once, I am actually going live with this one on Instagram. We normally just record this stuff, and we put it out possibly about every Monday or so. But today, I'm going to do it live. I think that hopefully this one's going to bring some value and something that everybody can take a small piece away from. And that is 5 steps to change your day, to change the perspective that you have of yourself. These are things that I try to do every single day that I surely have not mastered. But what we're trying to do is each and every time on this show to try to make improvements in our life. We want to be the best entrepreneur. We want to be the best father. We want to be the best individual that we can be, husband and wife. And so these 5 shifts in mindset have helped me to be a better person. And today, I hope they are going to help you. The first thing is this. We all know it. Don't compare ourselves to somebody else. But what if we started to say, let's compare ourselves to ourselves from last year at this time? You know, too often we get to say, well, compare ourselves to the person we were yesterday. But there's not enough of a noticeable difference between the person we are now and the person we were 24 hours ago to ever really feel like we've accomplished something. But what if you looked at the person you were 365 days ago at the beginning of last year? Well, I'm going to tell you what, you'll be able to get a real gauge for if you've been able to achieve your goals. And more importantly, you'll get a gauge for what kind of person you've become over the last year. So if you set out on this goal that you were going to have a $10 million company, you didn't achieve it, but you look at yourself and all the skills and everything that you had to become in order to try to get to that $10 million mark, I think what you're going to find is that you pursued something that was meaningful, not something that was expedient, and therefore you got value out of that goal. And so I think the real value we can find is not just in not comparing ourselves to other people, which we do too often online as we see everybody's big wins. But I think more importantly than that is not compare yourself against yesterday, but who you were last year. That is where you're going to be able to see the noticeable differences within your life. Number 2, I want you to treat yourself like you're somebody that you love. I think we all can think about somebody that we love in our life. Won't we do something extra for that individual? Won't we try a little bit harder for them? Won't we do the little details right for that person that we love? I surely hope so. Now, do we do that for ourselves? And when you think about that for yourself, I want you to think about this. What kind of thoughts do you allow to enter into your head each and every day? And if you loved yourself, if somebody you loved allowed those thoughts to be in their head, would you tell them, man, you got to forget that shit? Of course you would. If somebody you loved said, I'm not sure I could do something, if somebody you loved wasn't sure about themselves, if somebody you loved was putting themselves down, you would tell them to stop immediately. You would tell them how great they are. You would tell them how beautiful and how capable they are. You would tell them how amazing and how much joy they bring to your life. Now, what if you could do that for yourself? What if you told yourself that you are capable? What if you treated yourself like you're somebody that you did love? What a difference that would make in your life if you were on your way to work instead of just saying, oh man, another day, here we go. What if you treated yourself and you said, boy, I get a real opportunity to impact people's life today and I'm going to do it to the greatest ability that I have? Because wouldn't you want that for the person that you love? If you're somebody that's been thinking about doing something, wouldn't you want someone you love to go after their dream? Of course you would. So wouldn't you want yourself to do that? And what is holding you back from doing that? What, a fear of failure? A fear of what other people are going to say about you, the judgment that they're going to have for you in your life? If it was somebody that you love, you would tell them to screw those other people and to go do what you want to do. And so today, I want you to start treating yourself like you are actually somebody that's worth a darn. And when you do that, the decisions that you make are going to lead to a more powerful person in you. And I'm telling you, what you're going to do is you're going to go after things that are more meaningful in your life, because that's what you would want for somebody that you cared about. Number 3, maybe the most important thing on this list, and one that I am working on personally, keep the promises that you make to yourself. If you want to look at yourself, if you want to love you, keep the promises that you make to yourself each and every day. Let me ask you a question, which is this. If you had somebody in your life, somebody that you cared about, and that individual made promises to you all the time and then they did not keep them, would that want to be somebody that you'd want in your life each and every day? I don't think so. For me, if you had the parent, let's just say, and they told you they were going to pick you up from school and they never picked you up on time, I probably wouldn't be a parent that you remember very fondly. If you have a significant other and they constantly are telling you they're going to be home on a certain time and they never make it, they're always breaking their promises, boy, real easy to fall out of love with that person. My point is to say this: you don't want to be around people that don't keep their promises to you. So if you're wondering how you don't like yourself, maybe you're not keeping the promises that you make to you. And so today, what I would tell you, if you want to shift the mindset, is actually start keeping the promises you make to yourself. If you say you're going to do it, then do it. And all of a sudden, what begins to happen is, just as you would love a person who keeps promises to you, by keeping promises to yourself, you begin to love yourself more. And that becomes with making goals, making promises that are attainable. If you've never been to the gym, then getting up tomorrow at 5 a.m. for their first session and then going back at 7, and then also saying you're going to get home to cook dinner for the family and be a great wife or husband or whatever you're going to do, probably is not very realistic. But if you tell yourself that you're going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you're going to go for a mile walk, that is something that you can absolutely control, something that you can do tomorrow that is obtainable. And then once you begin to have those things in your life and you keep those promises that you have, you begin to count your wins, everyone. No one gets to tell you what a win is in your life. If you believe that a win is simply getting up and brushing your teeth, then damn it, that's a win. If you believe a win is making sure that your husband or your wife has the best morning because you made them breakfast, then damn it, that's a win for you. A win doesn't have to be what the world tells you that it is. A win doesn't have to be the fact that you close on a big deal. No, it could be that you got out of work in time and you made it to soccer practice to be with your kids and they got to see their father or their mother there, cheering them on, engaged with their practice. What a great feeling that is as a win. And so if you make these promises to yourself and you keep those promises, and what you do is you stack wins in your life and you begin to be somebody that you love. And I think that's a great thing. Number 4, Jimmy Valvino said this, and this is really 3 things in one, but it's a great concept that he said in the early 90s. If you ever watch college basketball, you always see the Jimmy V Classic. It's a tournament in college basketball towards the beginning of the season. And Jimmy V was a great coach. I believe it was UNLV. And you can go watch the speech online. He takes the stage at the ESPYs, and the guy could barely walk. His whole entire body was covered by tumors. He died shortly after the speech, I want you to know. But if you get a chance, go and watch a speech, a Jimmy Valvino speech. You can find it anywhere on YouTube. But this guy who is standing up there on stage, he's about to die. He knows it. I mean, the guy can barely walk. And he says this. He gives advice to people. And he tells everyone to do 3 things every single day of their life. And he tells them, if you could do these 3 things in your life, what a fulfilling life you're going to live. And he says these 3 things, do these. What if you think every day? Do something in your day that's going to involve thought. And for what I might tell you, maybe that's reading a book. Maybe it's listening to this podcast. But you think every single day. Don't just go through the motions of your day. Time is so finite. Don't do that. Instead, think every single day. Next, laugh. Have some joy in your life. Maybe make your own joy. Laugh at yourself for crying out loud. But have something that you laugh at every day. So you think, you laugh. And then I love the last one. Have your emotions move to the point of tears. Think about that. If you cry to the point where you laugh, or you're laughing to the point where you cry, or something so meaningful in your life happens that you shed a tear from it, and you did that every single day of your life, imagine how much meaning there would be. Many of us don't do any of them on certain days. We don't laugh. We don't think. We don't cry. We don't show any emotion. We just going through the monotony of the day. But imagine if you changed that today and you did those 3 things, maybe you would be living a more fulfilling life. And if not, you had one heck of a day in the pursuit thereof. And the last thing I want to say, number 5, these are just simple steps that I have that could change your perspective on your day and maybe change your life. I've been telling this one to my team over and over again, to treat life like a game of Grand Theft Auto. I love this one, and I want you to think about it this way. I have been on Grand Theft Auto and played level 1 for hours, where all you do is sit there and you run around and you cause mayhem. You rip people out of the car, you drive the car around, the police chase you. You do nothing else except for causing mayhem in the every single day on level 1. And you can do that in your life right now. You can go through your life and not have any purpose to what you're doing. Maybe you're not ripping people out of cars out there, but I'm telling you, you're just going through life, going through the motions. You're not actually engaging with other people. You're not in pursuit of something that's meaningful, trying to find purpose in your day. You're just out there doing it, working, driving through the streets. But what if, just like in Grand Theft Auto, there were avatars out there and you pretended that the world was full of them? And in Grand Theft Auto, you can walk up to somebody and start a conversation and completely shift what you're doing on that level. But what if you could do that in your everyday world? What if you could go up to somebody, start a conversation, and they completely shifted where your life was going? They gave you a mission, something to think about, a goal that you didn't even know you wanted. Just by talking to that individual and interacting with them, your life is changed forever. Now, you could just go through life, say hello to the person while you're getting your coffee and not ask about their day, or you could start a conversation. You could say that you're afraid to go up and talk to the girl or that guy that you want to date and never do it, or you could go start the most meaningful relationship of your life. You could not pick up the phone and make the phone calls that you're supposed to make today because you're afraid that somebody's going to hang up on the other end, or you could get the biggest sale in the company history that changes the way the company goes, and your company goes in a completely different direction, and so does your life. You could do all of these things if you just simply interact with the world that's around you instead of just going around and causing chaos, causing mayhem in the world, and you did it with some purpose. So treat your life today maybe like it's a game of Grand Theft Auto and make your choice what kind of life that you want to live. And so these 5 things right here, I think, can change your perspective. And nothing else, you're not going to get worse by doing them. You could compare yourself to who you were last year, treat yourself like you're someone you love. You could keep the promises that you make to yourself. You could think, you could laugh, and you could cry within your day. And you have a little fun. Pretend like life is a game of Grand Theft Auto. I think these are some great things. If you like what we had to say here today, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like it, and as always, comment below anything that you got some value out of. My name is Patrick Carr, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll see you next time.